Good morning, McKenzie County, and welcome to Living in McKenzie County, the podcast. My name is Vanita Best, Community and Business Development Director for the City of Watford City. We have an exciting episode for you today, and what I'm going to do to just lay it out, we're filming the episode today, and it is April 2nd, and the temperature outside is 31 degrees Fahrenheit, but this will be dropping on April 15th, and by that time, we are really hoping that McKenzie County is ready to spring into summer. And so the guests I have with today, we're going to go around and do self-introductions, but we're really excited to visit with them about all of the opportunities that we have to embrace summer in Watford City and McKenzie County. I think that we all know we live in a four-season area, and we live for summer and we recuperate in winter. And so we're just coming out of that winter season. We'll hit a short spring, I'm sure, and be headed right into summer. So I'm going to start. We're going to go around the table. We're going to start with Krystal. And we're just going to take a little time getting to know our guests, how they came to Watford City, how they ended up with the work they're doing currently, and the organizations that they're with. So let's start with you, Krystal. Tell us all we need to know about you and about the summer excitement out at the Rough Rider Center.
Sure. So yes, I'm Krystal Pickelsimer. I am the Recreation Manager for Watford City Park District. I was born and raised in Watford City, grew up here, went away for college, and then essentially came back for the job, started out as rec specialist, and now I'm manager. So we got a lot of fun, exciting programs going on this summer for both youth and adult. Excited to share about.
Cool. Just for fun, Krystal,
Yes.
For those listening, if they don't know the name Pickelsimer, how otherwise might they know you in your former life?
Yes. So my main name is Wold. So I'm a Wold as well.
Perfect. Well, thanks for being with us, Krystal, and thanks for the Park and Rec work that you do in our community. Tony, let's hear from you next.
Well, thanks for the opportunity to be here today, Vanetta. Name's Tony Carmichael. I'm the golf professional general manager at Fox Hills Golf Course. Just started my fourth year with the city. Moved into the area, went to Williston about 10 years ago, and very fortunate that how things came about, that there was a desire to have a golf professional in town here. 4 years, strong support from the city and the community, sponsors and kids. It's very glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. We'll definitely take laps and get back to your summer programs. But the golf course, which is municipally owned, has seen a lot of changes, a lot of great growth in the last 4 years. So thank you for being here. We're glad you're here.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Brent?
I am Brent Schwan. I moved here in 1997 as a game warden. I've since moved on from that career, but I grew up in Williston, so I was still very, very familiar with the area. Moved here with my family, and right now, I guess I'm here representing the McKenzie County Sportsman's Club and some of the stuff that we got going on out there. So
exciting. It's very exciting. I think if we had been having this conversation 12 years ago, 15 years ago, the Rough Rider Center didn't exist. The Sportsman's Club didn't exist, and the golf course looked much different.
We were the Badlands Shooting Club then. I mean,
Okay.
we kind of sprung off from them, but we are dramatically different from what we were then, right? We were just north of the cemetery at that time, where one of the USDA buildings is there right now, and certainly not anywhere near the level of the facility we have right now. But, in fairness to the people that started things a long time ago, the Badlands Shooting Club has been in existence. I think even one time it was out by the fairgrounds when Watford City was quite small compared to what it has gotten to be.
And then they also had a outdoor short archery range at one point in time that was yes, definitely. But spend some time so we do a community orientation every other month. And when we bring people out to the Sportsman's Club, so many of them say, I didn't know this was here. So tell us about the facility and all of the things that they can do as a member of that facility out there.
Sure. I think one of the difficult things is trying to get people to realize that we are around. So as we stated, at one point they were out near the bypass by the fairgrounds. And then as Watford City expanded to that area, they were asked to move to the east of town, thinking that Watford City would never grow 3 miles or 4 miles to the east. And that we would have a permanent home there. Well, of course, come the late 90s, we did expand past that area. So we were asked to move again. And so now we are about, it must be about 4 or 5 miles southeast of town on County Road 37.
Mm-hmm, correct. Right? It's my road. I know this.
Yes, I knew you would know, but I couldn't remember. I just drive there and don't pay attention. Yeah. But so we are a fair ways out of town. So there is a little difficulty in getting people to realize that we're there. The Rough Rider Center, obviously, it's up on the hill and right across from the golf course, so everybody sees those. And so we are a little ways out of town, and so we are struggling a little bit to get people to realize that we are there. We're trying to change some things like that, maybe do a little marketing and things like that. But we are really one of the most all-around facilities in the state from the shooting sports standpoint. We have trap shooting available. We have rimfire shooting available, so basically 22s, that kind of stuff. We have separate ranges for that. We have separate handgun ranges. We have separate 100, 200, 300-yard shooting, mostly high-powered rifle ranges. And then we have a 280 by 80-foot building for indoor archery. It's the biggest indoor archery facility probably anywhere from like Yankton, South Dakota to here. I mean, we're one of the only facilities that can host like an indoor ASA shoot. So it's awesome. We've had people come and use the facility strictly because of that fact. Excuse me. We actually have members from like Bismarck that are very involved in some national archery shooting competitions that don't have the ability to shoot those longer ranges anywhere else in the state. Now, there's a few people starting to see value in that, and there's some places looking to expand theirs, but still we are really the most state-of-the-art indoor archery facility in a big area. So and then in the summertime when weather's better, we have an outdoor archery course as well. So any of the shooting sports, we are looking at hopefully rearranging some things, expanding a little bit. We have more land to the west right now where we're contemplating moving our trap ranges to the west and incorporating trap and skeet down there. And then where our trap ranges are right now, we're looking at potentially doing some 5-stand courses, which is trap shooting is more like straightaway targets, things like that. 5-stand and sporting clays try to simulate actual hunting conditions. So you'll actually have targets get thrown along the ground to simulate rabbits. You'll have targets go straight up to simulate ducks flying off a pond. Some places will have birds come from behind you. Different things like that. And where the trap range is right now would be an ideal location for 1 or 2 5-stand courses. So it's kind of where we're sitting right now. We've only been out there. We've been open out there 4 or 5 years here now. And so we offer hunter safety classes. Pete Jost has been doing hunter safety classes for people. And those classes, I think he's doing them either once a month or every other month, but you can look on the North Dakota Game and Fish Department website and it'll list them. And I think he's taking 25 people and he's been filling up every time. So there's things like that. We host some events with other groups in town. We will have coming up here on the 12th. We will have an indoor 3D archery shoot. In June, the last weekend of June, we'll have a state ATA trap shoot in Watford City, a 2-day event. Just last Friday, we were awarded the 2026 North Dakota Bow Hunters Association Indoor State 3D Archery Shoot and their rendezvous, and we hosted that 3 years ago, and it was a big success. So we now have another opportunity to do that. So we got some things going on, but we're always looking to do more. I think we also host the Wolves Clay Target trap team
And that's the high school.
That's the high school.
team.
Yep. And they'll be starting to shoot. I think their first practice is like either this week or next week. So they'll be getting shooting. They shoot in the spring and the fall. So I think Pete told me there's either 27 or 29 kids out this year, which is a pretty good number. It's been growing steadily. We're trying to catch up to Williston. They have the largest high school trap team in the entire country, actually.
Oh, wow.
But I think it goes to show that if you provide those opportunities for those kids, that they'll take advantage of them, right? We just have not had that opportunity in the past, and we're only on our second or third year of high school trap. So we're already, I think you told me that's about 27 or 29 is about the average size trap team in the States. So we've already got to that level, but I think we can eclipse that substantially too.
Cool. I want to ask you one more question, Brent, before we move on to Tony, and we'll talk about the golf course. But so if we have parents out there listening to the podcast and they have kids at home that want to get into shooting sports or need hunter safety, because you have to have that before you can apply for a license in North Dakota, how do those parents connect with those opportunities, whether it's the 4-H Bullseyes or it's the high school team or it's hunter safety? How do they connect?
Yeah, so I mean, they can contact the Sportsman's Club directly. And I apologize for not being prepared with that phone number. Okay. But maybe when they're talking, I can look it up on my phone real quick and give it to you. But
put it in the show notes too.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And so they can contact the club directly. For 4-H, Marcia Helensauce has been a dream to work with. She's the retired extension agent. She does a lot coordinating that event. And then Pete Jost, who is our manager, is also the high school trap coach. And so he could help get them lined up with that.
Perfect. And I know that there's a good phone number on your Facebook page.
There is.
That when somebody calls that, it's answered. So we will get all of that into the show notes so people can connect.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of opportunities out there. So
yeah, and that's probably his primary way of communication anyway, is through Facebook. We do have a Facebook page. There should be information on all of these events on the Facebook page. And there would be a contact information. And we do have a website and stuff like that too. So that information is available in those locations.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Brent, for giving us that rundown. And you have a lot going on. So
we do.
It's exciting. Okay, Tony, let's talk about the golf course. Give us just a little bit of history, because you were a 9-hole very recently, and just where things have gone. And then, of course, take the opportunity to hit on all of the youth opportunities as well.
Well, the course was changed to 18 holes several years ago. And then, I guess, to financial difficulties, the city took over the operation probably 5 years ago of the golf course. And thankfully, with that, I guess, opened up some resources and opportunities, networking, working with yourself, with Vanetta and Krystal and Brock is expanded the operation substantially. We've gone from the year before I came in. I think I did the numbers. We did 8,000 rounds, and then last year, 3 years later, we're at 20,000 rounds. That's just great support from the community. I guess with our new superintendent also came in and changed things around. We're only, a golf course is only as good as its greens, and special thanks to Travis Rodenheiser, who's turned us around from maybe this was going to be turned into track housing to having probably one of the finest, if not the finest, golf course in the state. And, it's a pleasure for me to get out of my car every morning, look outside and see that we got greens as good as anywhere. It makes you, proud to want to work there, instead of, oh my goodness, what are we going to do today? And, complaints stop coming in and everything else. So with that being said, with improvement of the conditions of the golf course and good staff and good attitudes all around, and the cooperation of sponsors, city, and the community in general. Our junior program, with help with the Parks and Rec over the Rough Rider Center, with it's increased where I don't know how many. I don't know. You might have the numbers that were before here, but it might have been 20 or 25, maybe 30 that were kids participating. And this year, heck, we're going to have 30 kids just ages 4 to 6 this year in classes. Probably my best part of the workday is going out there and hanging out with those young golfers. But we're going to have over 200 kids in the programs that are run combined for the Rough Rider Center and the 2 programs that we have at the golf course. And the nice thing is that the community is behind it. It's nice to go out and see when an afternoon is now it's like now the problem is, I see a family's brought out their kids to play. Now I got 5, 6 kids running around, or 3 or 4 kids running around with their parents playing, and I go, well, this is a problem, but it's a great problem. And we're taking steps to address that too in the future to make the facilities more inclusive for kids. So I might have got off track on that, but
not at all.
Okay. And just the I guess just talk about the support. I've my past is I've had the fortunate experiences of teaching growing up in Canada and then spending time in California, and then even taught for a few years in Mexico. And there is no place like McKenzie County when it comes for support. Now, there are individuals in Williston and even in Mexico that helped out some pretty good kids that needed some help. But I'm talking as a general population. This is with our traveling teams and our lunch programs, and we have. It's just I don't know where to start. It's overwhelming when I look at what the community has accomplished. I can have ideas and concepts, but without help, it doesn't happen.
Well, and I think the recognition to be had, and I'm sure the Rough Rider Center feels it, the Sportsman Club feels it, the Fox Hills feels it. And I'll tell you this little story and then tie it in. So my mother-in-law, who I'm sure will listen to this, she can be a little bit of a tough nut. And they walked into the clubhouse to have lunch one day, and they saw a whole bunch of kids sitting at a table. And she said to my aunt, who they were going out for lunch, should we go someplace else? And so they sat down, and they were next to your table of youth golfers. Mm-hmm. And you were teaching them table manners and etiquette and how to be good little humans when they're in a public setting at lunch. And she was so impressed. And she said, so not only are they teaching them to golf, she's from a golf family, but also teaching them how to be good members of society. So I wanted to just share with you the impact that your youth program is having on the community, and it's being recognized. So you maybe don't always hear it directly, but it is recognized. And the only reason that happens is because of community support.
Yes. Well, thanks for the positive feedback. As I tell my kids in the junior golf program that my dad told me is, don't do what I do what I say.
I'll note that one, Tony. I'll note that one.
But in with the junior program, thankfully we got good golfers, knowledgeable golfers. It's a team effort. We have several parents and they have a love for the game the same that I do. I guess I grab from my experiences from when I was their age, and I remember the pros who really helped me. There are some that I still, until they've a lot of them have recently passed, but I talked to these guys for years or decades after the fact, and the irony is now I still have a guy who's a past All-American golfer at the junior college level in State Am, and he just, he reached out to me like last week, and I laughed because you can see the roles have reversed. I guess that comes with the gray hair or what hair I have left. But I do remember the pros, the good ones, and I try not to remember the bad ones. And the last thing I do is want these kids to say, hey, they had a bad experience with me. I want a good, leave a good legacy. It took me about 20 years of instructing and coaching not to realize that not everybody wants to play professional golf. Or you laugh, but because you think that's normal. But anybody who goes hits wedges 4 or 5 hours a day, I found out there's only like 3 students out of the thousands I've taught over the last 30 years that do that. So I realize now my daughters told me that's abnormal. So from my point of view, that was just normal. But not everybody aspire to play professionally. Some kids aspire to, like my kids have done, is a means to an end to pay for their education. I wish they would have maybe gone to the next level, but my dream wasn't theirs, and I have to stop living through them vicariously. But kids, why do kids play golf? Why do we all play golf? I play golf now because nothing makes me happier than Dr. Ramage calling me at 9 a.m. and says, you're going to sneak out 9 holes with me before I go play league. And I go, oh, tough to say no to that. I enjoy it. So we emphasize fun that goes along with the etiquette and treating people respectfully and being self-respectfully and leaving things nicer than you found it. But with that being said, when we've created that atmosphere of being fun, all of a sudden these kids go, I want to compete. So you put the fun first, the rest follows. Mm-hmm. And for 20 years, I had that backwards. Mm-hmm. So because of that, thanks to my, Kaylee and Carrie, who's helped, and even my eldest daughter, Tiffany, who helped first year out here before she went and had to go get married and all that stuff. It's also been a learning experience for me too. So thanks to your mother-in-law? Well, mother-in-law, yeah. Thanks to her. Yeah. And it kind of just tells me that we're taking this in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that is a super important part about being a coach, is realizing that things you're teaching them are not, you're teaching them a lot of life skills. Golf emulates life in a lot of ways. A lot of sports do, right? Mm-hmm. And, realistically, even if they want to go pro, there's not, the circumstances in Watford City or North Dakota in general make it very difficult for somebody to go pro. You're playing part of a year as opposed to year round. But we see the same thing in archery. There's kids that are in the 4-H archery program. We have 100 kids, give or take, that shoot 4-H archery every Thursday at the range. And there's some kids there that are just there to just fling arrows and have fun, and their score is not that important to them. And then there's kids there that they want to be a state champion this year, right? And so you got to realize then too how you approach them, because if you start going over to the kid that just wants to fling arrows and he's not really concerned about a score, and it's like, hey, you need to hold your hand like this, and you need to anchor here, and you need to do this and that, pretty soon you make it not fun for them. Right. Absolutely. And then all of a sudden that person walks away from it, as opposed to what you just said. If you keep it fun and they stay in the program, at some point, them competitive juices might kick in. And now you've got somebody that has some experience. Whether they know it or not, they have been working on skills up to that point. And now you got a kid that's a little bit more moldable even, that you can turn into something really good just by keeping them in the program, as opposed to chasing them out of the program by trying to get too complex with them when they're not really ready for that.
Well, and growing into the love of it is not built through technical means necessarily. It's built through the relationships that they grow, the goals of something higher than their individual performance as a team, those sorts of things. So thank you both for really growing a love of competition in our youth. It's going to build better community moving forward as well.
And I love golf too. I was actually one of the, I was on the golf board for a dozen years, and I started one of the first junior golf programs in town when I was out there, but then we'd ran it for about 4 years, but then my job and different things took place. And then actually probably not long after that, the Parks and Rec probably took over starting to do more of that stuff. But it's an awesome sport too. And the more kids out there, the better. I agree completely.
So let me just ask Tony one more question, and then we're going to hop to Krystal's side of the table. Tony, if there are people out there that either haven't done adult league before and they want to explore summer adult league, or they have youth that want to get plugged into your youth program, how do they go about doing that?
Well, with the ladies league, they could get a hold of Leanne Vol.
Okay.
Men's league, they could get a hold of Aaron Judkins.
Okay.
with our youth programs, with Golf 101, 202, and getting, Little Linksters, which they would be through Krystal and the Rough Rider Center. I don't know if that's online, Krystal, or I think it's online. With the two programs that we run through the golf course for a little more, I guess, I don't want to say intense, but a little more detailed for those who, kids who like golf and say, I want to do a little more with it. We have the PGA Junior League, which is online to register for. And then for the high school program, it's getting tournament ready. It's kind of taking PGA Junior League to a new step where we do play a little bit. We do practice some, but it's a lot more. It's the directions. I'm taking it more detailed now. Kind of, it's evolving. We're getting more into like getting tournament ready. Yes, actually getting tournament ready. Learning like what a yardage book is and proper stretching, and so when it's time to tee it up, you're mentally clear as can be and ready to perform at a peak performance, because that's what, to me, that's what winning is. Not necessarily holding a trophy, right. Which is nice, but just playing to your peak potential. That's, to me, that's a win.
Absolutely.
So
W's and L's are W's and L's, but
that's right.
Performing at a level that provides gratification, satisfaction, and
we can, and as a result of that, we do. Okay, I can brag. I can name the kids this long already in the last few years have won Dakota Junior Golf Tour events. I won't, because I'll miss one, but and everybody said, "Well, that's great, you did this." I said, "Well, no. If it was because I was such a great teacher, everybody would be shooting 65." But let's put the owner, the expert of the golf game is not the instructor. It's the golfer, and it's because of the effort and passion they have to go out there and do those things that I thought was normal. So he says, "How long do you practice for?" I said, "Well, until I hit. It's tripping till I chip in 2 shots. If it's bunkers, till I hold 2 bunker shots." That was my time frame when I was working on my game. It wasn't 2 hours. And people look at me like you're weird. And well, if you met most golfers that play competitively, they're on a different level. So, but that's what it takes to play well. And that's why my kids said, "Dad, I don't want to play," because they played well and won more tournaments than I can count. But they said, this isn't life. There's more to life than this. And I'm learning now. Now that I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50, I'm learning that there are other things important. And it's making me a better teacher because of it. So.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so we have the Sportsman's Club, lots of summer excitement. We'll have in the show notes ways to connect. We have Fox Hills Golf Course for youth and adults, ways to connect. Krystal, you come at this from I would say a little different perspective, where Parks and Rec takes on a large variety of programs. Can you talk about what summer looks like from your perspective and kind of the programs, maybe some numbers of kids, the growth you've seen over the last few years? So share with us a little bit about what summer Park and Rec looks like.
Sure. Yeah. Summer for us is very busy. There's lots of things to do, from youth to adult. One of our biggest programs, obviously, is our baseball, softball program. We have over 450 kids in those programs from age 3 to 18, learning the game, playing the sport. And then we have, like Tony mentioned, we have our golf program. That's also one of our other really big programs in the summer. And then we have all our other fun things we do for the kids too, like our summer excursions. We take them all over McKenzie County. We go out to the Badlands. We go to Fort Union. We go to the Heritage Park in town. We go out to Tobacco Garden and go swimming. We take kids fishing at Sather Dam. We went out to a ranch last summer and visited a ranch. So just a lot of different cool experiences that kids can do throughout the summer. And then we also did take a group of kids to Medora as well. So just some extra experiences that kids might not get to do that we can help provide them. And then on the adult side, we have our adult softball league, which is huge in the summer. We had, I think, 18 teams last year. So every Monday and Tuesday night, we have teams playing out there. And then we have some cornhole tournaments, volleyball tournaments, just lots of fun things for all ages to do.
So can you share just a little bit if parents want to get plugged into either any of the programs, or specifically, what is your excursion program called? It maybe is the excursion program.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the summer excursions.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah.
Where can they go and sign up for those things?
Yes. So signups are all online at WatfordCityParks.com, or they can call the Rough Rider Center and sign up as well. We also do have a new app. So that has been really handy, and you can sign up right through the app as well.
Perfect. So that's in the App Store.
Yep.
Rough Rider Center, or what's that called?
Watford City Park District.
Watford City Park District app. Okay, very cool. I'm going to throw this one out there, and maybe it's fair game to all three of you, but certainly I know the Park and Rec program. Part of what makes these programs go as they grow is volunteer coaches.
Absolutely.
What can you say to somebody out there if they maybe know a sport, understand a sport, they're interested in volunteering and participating in the enrichment of youth? What do you have to say to those maybe interested in coaching and wanting to learn more about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we couldn't run any of our programs without all our volunteer coaches. It takes multiple people just to run all the things. So yeah, if you're interested in any sort of sport, any sort of giving back to the kids, anything, just reach out to us at the Rough Rider Center. We'll get you plugged in. I mean, a prime example is we have multiple people coaching our youth soccer programs right now that they don't have a kid in the program. They just love the game, want to help out, which we couldn't do it without. We have 70 more kids than last year, and just in youth soccer this spring. So yeah, if you are interested, please reach out, because we're definitely always looking for different people to help out and give back.
And that's as simple as just calling the Rough Rider Center and saying, who do I talk to if I want to volunteer as a coach?
Just talk to the rec department. You can talk to me, you can talk to any of my staff. We'll get you connected no matter what program it is.
Okay, perfect. Very cool. One other thing to point out, one of the community enjoys a summer program that I don't know everybody knows that Park and Rec runs, but that's the Watford Market. Do you want to talk at all about the Watford Market?
Sure. I don't know a lot about the Watford Market.
I think that's more Boston's realm.
But I can talk what I know. The Watford Market, that's Thursday evenings in the summer. So we have lots of vendors that come in and sell their homemade goods, baked goods, or anything that they sell. And there's usually live music and some food there. It's a lot of fun. It's a good community event for people to come out to.
And that usually shows up on our Watford City events calendar. But if you haven't been to the market before and you're not necessarily into sports and rec programming, the Park and Rec program hosts that, and it's a great time to get out on a Thursday evening and enjoy the Kent Pelton Park, which is a beautiful park. So great opportunity. There are a couple programs or events that come to the community each year where you collaborate with each other on. And one of them is coming up in May, and I should have the date, and I don't.
I think it's the 20th.
The 20th of May.
Yes. Yep.
Do you, Brent and Tony, do you want to talk a little bit about Birds and Birdies, what that is?
You want to start, or you want me to?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'll start because that's where the event starts, actually.
Perfect.
In the morning, we have... I guess I don't know what the number is this year, Tony, necessarily, but about 120 individuals.
Yeah, it may be that, maybe a little higher.
Yeah, approximately 120 individuals come out. It's in coordination with the North Dakota Petroleum Council Foundation. And so they come out to the shooting range in the morning, and they start out there, and they will do some trap shooting in teams of 4. They'll do trap shooting. They'll shoot 22 rifles. They'll do some rimfire shooting, and then they will actually shoot bow and arrow. And the really interesting thing about the bow and arrow is that they use the exact same bows that our kids use in 4-H archery. The Genesis bows are incredibly adjustable. We got guys that are 6'3" shooting the same bows that an 8-year-old shoots. And so it's kind of a cool thing like that. And it's amazing how many people will pick these bows up and shoot them, and they've never done that before. And it's like, wow, this is really fun. I could sit here and do this all day, right? So they start out with us. They have some breakfast. They do some shooting. get done noonish or so, and then they head to the golf course for some lunch and some golf.
Yeah, they have lunch, and they play their 18 holes, and then they combine their scores. I apologize. I don't know what method they use for their scoring between the golf and.
I'm not sure anybody does.
No. And I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're used to. At one point, they had teams of 5, and then we had a scoring system that was very simple because we were only playing 13 holes, and it was based on birdies and eagles and everything. But they've come up with their own scoring system, and so we just hand over the scores to the Petroleum Council people, and they come up with winners.
I just have one complaint about this.
Oh.
I don't mean to sound controversial.
Oh.
Well, some of our staff and kids that work with us, and I asked them to come early to set up the day before. They go, "Oh, we can't because we're obligated to do setup over at the range."
Oh no! So you need to stagger your setups.
Well, we just got it. I said, "No, just go ahead." I act like I'm very compassionate and let them go ahead. But the thing is, it's great because you don't have to just play golf.
Right.
You can, I think that sport, hand-eye, I think it's one complements the other.
Yeah.
So I laugh and I go, well, that's great. No, I really don't get mad at them.
I've been actually fortunate enough to compete. I mean, to be a participant in it as well. Right. And so it is a lot of fun. I mean, and they do complement them, each other, but they're also so very different. I mean, trap shooting is very reactive as the bird flies out. Golf and some of the other ones, golf is different than baseball in that you're hitting a stationary ball as opposed to trying to hit a moving ball. And, where trap, you're trying to hit a moving target. But with the 22s, now you're shooting a stationary target. With archery, you're shooting a stationary target. But they're complementary, but so different. It's just the first year we had it, it rained and it was cold. It was miserable. And people said, was it even fun? And I said, it was miserably fun. Because,
nice.
I mean, honestly, it still beats a day of work. Going out and shooting and golfing and doing that. But it was cold and it was raining. But then the second year that I participated, phenomenal day. And that was about as good a day as I can have as a person, getting to shoot on any given day and play golf in the afternoon. It's like, give me that all day, every day.
And what I was going to say, from my perspective, the reason the North Dakota Petroleum Council Foundation comes to Watford City to host this event is because we have the facilities to be able to do it. And because we are the core community of the Bakken, so many of those businesses and organizations that participate in it, it's in their backyard. And so it's been a real great opportunity for the community to be able to showcase these facilities, for the foundation to be able to generate the revenue they do through the fundraiser that it is, because of all the good work that they do. It's a great fundraiser for them, but we couldn't do it without the people behind the facilities too. So I think it's a unique event. I think it raises great funds for a great cause. And I want to thank you guys for making that doable in our community.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of fun to
participate
in it. I mean, it's a lot of fun it's even a lot of fun just to run the event and interact with the people and stuff. So
cool. And we're not even going to, in our show notes, say, here's how you get to participate in that, because that is the North Dakota Foundation or Petroleum Foundation.
And that's filled up anyway.
Yeah. And I think that is just something that, is an opportunity to their membership. But we're so thankful we are able to host it here
for sure
in the community. So thank you guys for all the work you do in that. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So we talked a lot about summer. And of course, I think we already talked about this too. North Dakotans live for summer, and then we exhaust ourselves during summer, and then we have some transition fall and spring, but then we take the winter recovering from what we did during the summer. So we talked about your summer events. What do you have to offer in the off seasons?
We don't really have an off season,
okay?
Right? Because we literally do have the ability to be a 4-season facility. So, as we go through, we'll be starting spring trap leagues for adults. So there'll be information out for that coming up, probably starting in May sometime. And we'll run that through the summer. But as we get into the fall, we'll likely do some fall trap leagues. But then as we transition to winter, we switch to indoor archery leagues. And so those are just finishing up now. So we are open year round. Clearly, there's times when it's 35 below. We don't have a lot of stuff going on at the outdoor ranges, but we don't ever close the outdoor ranges. If the weather's nice enough for you to feel like you can come and shoot, you can come and shoot. But we do get a lot of people coming out and shooting indoor archery. We have targets set up year round in there. And so we really are a 4-season facility when it comes right down to it. There's always something to do out there.
Okay, Brent, and I know you do an annual membership.
Yes.
And do you do day passes? Can you share with the listening audience what those look like?
Yeah, so we have annual memberships for both individuals and families. And then we do have day passes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. Are public hours. If you're a member, you get a card and you can come and shoot anytime. Of course, we don't allow night shooting for firearms and things like that, and we do have a gate, but that key card will get you in the gate, into the facility, any day of the week. And so if you're a member, you can come out and shoot anytime, both at the indoor range or any of the outdoor ranges. If you're a non-member, then we have non-member hours where you can get a day pass for $10. And if you come with a member, you can also buy that day pass. We have a Dropbox set up out there, and I guess we just kind of take people on their honor that they're there with a member and can get a day pass for that day.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. Tony, how about you? Off season, talk a little bit about your pro shop and membership fees and ways people can participate in the facility.
Sure. Well, first of all, winter projects, the only thing I had going this past year, is it was nice of Lance Renville to donate a net that we put down in the basement. And we had a few of the kids that wanted lessons or help with their games in our program. They came in and we'd work with them. We are now talking with Krystal and her friends over at the Rough Rider Center about starting golf leagues and purchasing a couple of simulators with our benefactors or foundations to not just for leagues for the grown-ups, but for little ones too, to have access to hitting balls over the winter. So we've been talking about it. It seems more feasible than it did a couple of years ago, now that we have a better understanding of what the setup and the process and the technology is. So that's what we're working with Josh Nomeyer on that project. Our fees, we're public, so we're except for we're pretty much tied up on Thursdays with our men's league, and women's league is getting bigger every year. Last year I was in shock when I showed up to the meeting, how many ladies, not just how many I didn't know. Excuse me. It's impressive. And it's nice to see those new golfers out there with their kids. It's one's kind of feeding the other. It's great. We do have green fees available thankfully through the city. All our high school team members in the county. That'd be not just Watford City, but Alexander High School too. The team members, with the agreements we have, we let them play and practice to help grow the game, which is great. We got, I know Alexander this year at the B level they'll have some kids probably. Well, one went to state last year. There'll be more going to state this year. They could be competing for a state title this year. That's impressive. That's lovely to see, because I am still competitive. But it's, through my students. But it's and they've been out hitting balls already on the range, which has been open for a week. With that being said, I'd just like to mention, I know I forgot to before, is in July we will have our junior golf week. It's it's a big event for our program. We have the our junior golf tournament. That's Wayne Olson Memorial Junior Golf Tournament. Be there our third annual, I believe. This year it's gone to a 2-day event. We're expecting players from all over, hopefully from both sides of the border. And as well as we have the Masons. We're putting on a dinner that would be feeding the kids as they're coming off the golf course, as well as after the tournament, opening the golf course up to new golfers and their families to allow them to experience golf. And they'll see the other kids playing there, and they might say, "Hey, this is something I want to be part of." And as well as a tournament, dinner, we also will have on the Wednesday that week, we'll have the drive, chip, and putt. This is our third year hosting it. That's probably my proudest thing is we were offered 30 as a pilot event through the PGA of America out of the Minnesota section. We were the first facility in the country to be offered a program where the host professional actually acts as the tournament director. Normally, the junior coordinator from each section of the PGA America is on site for this. It helped that I had gone to many drive and chip competitions through my daughters from here. They compete in California here and in Minnesota. And even a couple of times where they were short volunteers, instead of me watching my kids, I ended up doing scoring, which you do it almost when I'm on the traveling team and take the kids all over the state with that. I ended up refereeing and doing things that it's fun, but I'd rather just go watch the kids. But you always end up being an official or helping. So I had the experience from that, and thankfully with Kaylee still works. She had the experience of competing, so she stepped in and said, "This is how we could do it better than what she saw when she experienced." And with we got our Thursday morning old timers work as scorers and referees, and a couple of young timers. It's just awesome because we have like 15 volunteers come out, and it's run like clockwork.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so, do you know the week in July that is off the top? And if not, I can tell you, we will get that into the Watford City events calendar.
20th. I believe it's the
28th.
Oh, 20. Week of the 28th.
21st.
21st. 20. Yeah. The Monday, Tuesday would be the Wayne Olson Memorial Junior Golf Tournament, sanctioned by the Dakota Junior Golf Association. The Wednesday would be, and Tuesday would be the family golf night and dinner, the burgers. As the Masons come out and serve everybody some fine cuisine. And then so that's it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think I'm missing something. Oh, the Wednesday's a drive, chip, and putt. That caps it off.
Perfect. And so that's Youth Golf Week in Watford City,
yes.
and it starts the week of July 21st.
Yes.
And we'll make sure that is definitely included in the Watford City events calendar, so people can pop in and look at the details of what those events include.
Yes.
So very cool. That's exciting, Tony.
Oh, it's awesome.
Good stuff.
It's nice to see little kids come off the course with the smiles on their face.
Yes. Absolutely.
And when they don't smile, we can say, "Hey, we're going to still give you a burger today." So it's not so bad.
So your stomach is smiling.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Krystal, Rough Rider Center, kind of the way that fee schedule, how you can do a day pass, your monthly season passes. Talk us through how people can utilize the programming and the facilities.
Yeah. So at the facility, we have a day pass that you can come in and use it anytime during our open hours. And then there's membership options too. We have all sorts of different options. We have family memberships. We have individual ones. We have seniors, students, and those are a variety of ranges. You can do a month, a 3-month, a year. There's just lots of different options for that. And then for our programs, those are built out per program type thing. So you'll just go in and register for each program that you have. And then we also, I should mention, do have a scholarship program as well. So if you do need to utilize that, we give out lots of scholarships every year. So that's a really great program.
Perfect.
As well.
So the Park and Rec Foundation does have scholarships if there's a barrier to participation.
Absolutely. Yep.
And to utilize that, would that be the same thing? Call the Rough Rider Center and ask to talk to somebody about scholarship?
Yep, you can call a Rough Rider, stop by, pick up an application, just fill it out and submit it and go from there.
Okay, excellent. One last thing. Wild West Water Park. Do you know the schedule yet when that opens?
I don't have the date it opens. I don't know if that's been posted. I don't know if that's been said or not.
Okay, well, we're
Yeah.
probably a bit out, but that will be opening this summer as well. And again, our theme, of course, was springing into summer. And like I said, today is winter, but 2 weeks from now, it might be summer. We just never know. So we're going to be ready for it in Watford City.
Can I mention one thing?
Yes.
No one in our program will be turned back if they're a financial need. There are scholarships to the PGA of America, and we've had several people come up to me in this community that is so unique and said, don't say no to anybody. So if there's somebody out there either moved into the area from another state or from another country, our instructors speak English, Spanish, and Mandarin. So we got you covered, and if things are tight, please come.
When I think that that is the beauty of this community. Each one of you have a list of sponsors that stand behind you, help you carry out your mission, and also support the youth, because we want full access for all of our youth that want to explore these opportunities and grow a love for those opportunities. So with that, Brock, what did I miss?
I think we're good to go.
Awesome. I want to thank each and every one of you. Briefly, I just want to point this out. I have shot at a clay pigeon one time and I hit the first one, so I stopped. I'm 100%. I figured that's just a good place to stop. And I took golf as a Phi-Ed at NDSU, and I got worse every round that we had to golf. So I actually ended my golfing career at NDSU.
Oh, I'm so sorry for a negative experience.
I don't know. Anyway. So, but I want to thank you guys, because your programs, your facilities bring joy to the community. We want everybody to know about them, to access them, to enjoy them, to grow a love for all those things, and to really find a wonderful work, life, play experience in the community. So thank you for supporting youth. Thank you for running exceptional facilities and programs. You are assets to our community, and we are just so thankful for each and every one of you. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.